This is Silverstone, the track that hosted the first ever Formula One race. The home of many exciting moments and the motorsport pride of all of Great Britain. But the time has come for us to destroy it. Don't get me wrong, it's a good track, but it's gotta keep up with the new age of entertainment. And what better way to do that than to ask the degenerates on my Discord server and then have them vote on the best way to change each corner. So I open Silverstone up in Blender and start tracing the outline of the track with a brand new road. The only layout changes we're making are here at the Maggots and Becketts corners and here at Stove, which we change into an actual stove. Yeah, big brain moves. When the outlining is done, I extrude some landscape and now we have a great base for some track ruining. Just before we get into that, I make a curb model and as per this channel's tradition, we place them down while a sick copyright-free Eurobeat plays in the background. I really hope I didn't get copyright striked for this copyright-free Eurobeat. YouTube? Alright, let's take it one by one. Just like in the last video, I'll show you what we did to turn one at the very end. This next sequence of corners is called Farm, so the only obvious thing to do is put an actual barn in there and have F1 cars drive on dirt again. Seriously, it's an actual part of the track. I finish that off with some wooden fencing and scatter some tractors that have been scientifically redesigned to be as realistic as possible, as well as some cows. Get it? Red Bull? But it's a cow? Yeah, whatever, I'll see myself out. Also, Clarkson's Farm. It's a cool show. The next corner is called Village, which is exactly what we put there. Emphasis on the medieval style because the UK hasn't been cool since then, but because the UK is a civilized nation, we have to impose a speed limit on the village. I know, but it's the law. You can't do nothing about it. 80 kilometers an hour is the maximum speed through this section. We have an F1 track with a dirt section and traffic laws. Sick. Wait, why is the curb red? Isn't it supposed to be gray? Yeah, thought so. Next up is the Wellington Straight. For this one, we build the Tunnel of Doom. Wait, what's the point of that? It's just a silly straight, so nothing changes, right? The catch over here is no lights. And as far as I know, F1 cars don't have headlights. Why?
It's because the track is always lit.
Yeah, but also I forget that Assetto Corsa does lighting differently, so it doesn't actually change anything. So yeah, you were right. I'm sorry. These next corners are called Brooklands and Luffield. Let's be honest, there's only one thing we can do with these two, and that is tilt the fuck out of them and make them into a slingshot. Following this unchanged straight over here, we arrive at Copse, which is the perfect place to take out your championship rival if you want to murder your way back into contention. No more of that, say I. We're gonna wall off the sides and narrow the corner itself to prevent any further intentional crashes. We're probably gonna increase accidental crashes by about 2,600%, but I wasn't hired for my critical thinking. At this time, I also make an outline of the track to post on my Patreon, where I rename all the corners and ask my gas tier members where they would like me to put their name on the track. I then do the first test drive, and I must say I'm really liking this track so far. The F1 cars are doing way better on the dirt section than I had expected, and yeah, the 80 kph speed limit is annoying as hell. But the slingshot is incredibly fun. After Copse come Maggots and Becketts, which I renamed to Maggots and Becketts and Maggots and Becketts, because I doubled them and made them awful to drive. See, F1 drivers always say how much they love them and how much they enjoy these corners, and I feel like I'm the only one that actually hates them. So now, nobody's gonna enjoy them. I also add some walls to the sides since I don't think anyone wants to stroll in this race anyways. Next up is the Hangar Straight. And boy, did we outdo ourselves here, boys. We get a 3D hangar model, including some planes that we however put in the middle of the track, splitting it into 2 lanes, so if you go too fast... After the hangar comes the stove. We've already seen this one. I also raise it up as per my friend Yusto's technical drawing, and god, this section looks awful to drive. And for the last few corners, called Club and Vale, I basically demolish everything and replace them with a 4-lane highway. Don't ask me why, this was a terrible idea. finishing up the track with some start slots, some sand pits, and just generally making the landscape feel more diverse and alive. And how could I forget about Turn 1? Well, since this track is called Silverstone, we just put silver stones on the inside of Turn 1. Hey, these are all your suggestions, don't look at me funny. Since this corner is also called Abbey, we put the cover of Abbey Road on the runoff. Now to sprinkle some memes onto the track, and we start with the pubs in the pit lane, because a proper Brit should never be more than 2 miles from a pub. Obviously we need Big Ben in case people forget which country we're racing in, as well as a graffiti tribute to domestic terror. Top Gear logos on the roof of the main building as a throwback to the old Top Gear intro, trackside marshals and telephone booth, zooming past with low taper fade for the absolute lunatic who kept asking for it every single day and even changed his username to zooming past with low taper fade. Get help. And a winner's trophy for Quanti, a driver from our Discord server who won the race on the ruined version of Monaco that I made with Mr. V last year. Mr. V is the undefeated king of Formula 1 content with videos like these, and is also sponsoring this track with his podcast, his Camping Chair Chat. You gotta give it a listen, this guy's voice is beyond ASMR.
Sprint race, we're gonna blast through those, get into quali, get into the race, all the things that happened, all the lovely spoilers, all of the deep Formula 1 chat that
Once the advertising is everywhere it can possibly be, I just add the last of the details such as the pit signs, the DRS zones, as well as my patrons on the track. Thanks a million for the support, guys, I very much appreciate it. And here are the Diesel Tour supporters on my Patreon and YouTube. A huge thank you. Well, only one thing to do now. Lewis Hamilton hotlapping this abomination of a track. First of all, the track is absolutely awful for a hot lap, but for a race, this could absolutely slap. Second of all, yeah, I use the old Mercedes car, so what? F***ing fight me. Thank you so much, Justo, for hot-lapping that, you absolute rocket man. And if you'd like to see a race happen on this track, make sure to follow Zooming Past Ultimate Tournament, which streams every Saturday here on YouTube at these times. Racing against AI opponents on this track is, wishful? So after the official race ends, I just let it loop over and over on the server so you can connect to it and race with other fans. Again, statistically only 10% of you ever watch this part, and I love you more in a certain way. So thank you for staying. I got some more bad news coming, but I'll explain everything in the near future. Until then, thank you so much for watching. I actually mean it, and good luck into turn 1. You're gonna need it on this track.